Hi, this is Dr. Lisabeth Saunders, Medlock from Life by Design Coaching with your life coaching tip of the week for the week of December 12th, 2011. This week I'm going to be talking about, with the holidays looming, another video on dealing with kind of getting through the holidays and getting through the stress of the holidays. This week I'm going to be dealing with how to deal with your family during the holidays and some tips to get through the holidays with your relationships intact. You know, the holidays are the time when we come together with family members, some who we don't see all year, some who we are glad we don't see all year. But we have a bunch of people in close quarters, or some of them staying at your house. It can be difficult and challenging. So I'm going to give you some tips to kind of get through it and keep your relationships together and come out of the other end of the holidays happy and healthy. The first thing is prepare yourself. When you go in to deal with a bunch of family members, especially if you've had negative interactions with some of those family members in the past, you need to do what I call kind of your pre-game ritual, which is think about how you want to act, how you want to behave, what you want to say, what you don't want to say in front of them. If you've had things that have happened in the past, uncomfortable situations come up, think about what you can do differently. If you can anticipate that someone's going to ask you an awkward question, or someone who's drinking too much is going to behave in an unusual way, kind of work out ahead of how you're going to deal with it. The problem is when we react in the moment, and that gets us in trouble. So the pregame ritual and kind of preparing yourself on how you're going to interact with your family is important. The secondly is be compassionate and hold your tongue. The holidays are not the time to point out everyone's shortcomings, criticize people, or deal with big family issues that you haven't dealt with all year. This is the time to really just kind of get the holiday spirit, let things go, let things roll off your back. The worst thing is to be at a family gathering and have two people kind of going at it, criticizing each other, whether it's in jest or not. It's usually not that fun. So hold your tongue, be compassionate, let things roll off your back, and remember, also don't ask questions that are seemingly innocuous to you but really rub people the wrong way, like, are you going to get married yet? Do you have a girlfriend yet? Hey, do you still have a job? When are you going to find a new job? These questions are not open-ended, they're not innocuous, and they really do make some people uncomfortable. So avoid those questions at all costs. The third strategy kind of goes with the second one, is just ask open-ended questions and learn how to listen. What I've found is that if you ask open-ended questions and you learn to listen, you can decide how much you want to share. And once you get people talking, we all know people love to hear themselves talk. So if we ask a few open-ended questions, hey, how's your year been? What fun things have you done lately? How are the kids? When you ask open-ended questions like that, then you can kind of measure how much you want to contribute. And most people like to talk, and you can be in the role of listening, and that gets yourself out of trouble for the holiday season. The next thing is don't drink too much. Sure, it's fun to drink a few drinks to numb yourself during these holiday family gatherings. But what happens a lot if we drink too much alcohol is it's very hard to be compassionate and hold your tongue and do your pre-game ritual and stick to it. Well, you had a little bit too much to drink. You know, I always say loose lips sink ships, and alcohol loosens your lips. So don't get drunk. It's okay if other people get drunk and you can laugh at them. That's always a fun thing to do. But don't be the one who gets drunk and says things that you don't remember and probably regret later. The next thing is to divide and conquer. A lot of times during the holidays, especially with blended families and people living in all different parts of the country, this is kind of the way you can't be 10 places at one time. You can't be everywhere on Christmas Day. So decide who you want to spend your time with, when you're going to spend your time with them. It could be on Christmas Eve. It could be the day after Christmas. Christmas is just one day. The holiday season is longer. Don't go crazy trying to jump from one place to the next. So kind of decide on what you want your schedule to be, what schedule is manageable for your family, and divide it up, and have some downtime in between instead of rushing from place to place. I think the next thing that's really important, maybe the most important thing, is a lot of times we want to change our family members. And the idea, I think, to always keep in mind during the holidays is, guess what? Your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, they're probably not going to change. They are who they are, and they're going to do things that are totally annoying to you, especially during the holidays. The only thing that you can change is the way that you react to it. So remember, the only thing you can change is yourself and the way you react. Don't spend a lot of energy and spend a lot of time worried about things, letting things get to you, letting things annoy you, wishing things would be different. That's really not the time to do that, because they're not going to be different. You just have to change the way you react to it and just keep yourself in check. And lastly, I want to say, just remember that the holiday rituals that your family have are really important. You have to play your role. Some people are really concerned about when you open presents, what order you open presents, the food you eat. We eat the same meal every year on Christmas Eve. I've been doing it my whole life. That's important. Rituals important. Don't complain about them. It's only a couple days of the year, only maybe a day, so play your part, because remember, one day when things change in your life and people are no longer around and no longer able to participate in the rituals, you're going to miss all of this and look back and say, hey man, those were good times. So stick to those family rituals, play your role, have a good time, and keep in the holiday spirit. And I will see you next week with another life coaching tip of the week for December 19th, and then we'll be taking a break for the holidays. Have a great week.